Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be going over how to do the endospore stain in laboratory. To do that, we're going to be utilizing our malachite green and our safranin stains. The other materials that we're going to be using today is our bacteria sample, a paper towel, a microscope slide, a flame loop, a torch, some distilled water, and a hot water bath. Let's get started. So as always, we're going to start by grabbing the bacterial sample and placing it on the microscope slide. Now I have my flame loop here that I sterilized with the torch. I'm going to grab a sample here of the Bacillus subtilis. And always remember that less is more. You really don't need that much of the sample. And I have some distilled water that I already placed on the slide, and I'm just going to mix it in. And after that has been diluted with the water, I'm going to place this on the hot plate to dry. Now, once the microscope slide has dried, I'm going to heat fix the bacteria onto the slide about 3 times over. And now we're ready to add the first stain, which is the malachite green. To do that, I'm going to place the microscope slide with the clothespins over a bucket. And then the next step I'm going to do is place a paper towel over the bacteria sample. And the reason why we're going to do this is because we're going to allow the malachite green to soak through the paper towel onto the bacterial sample, but when we place it over the hot water bath, there's not going to be any excess leaking of the malachite green into the water. So I'm going to take my malachite green here and apply generously so that it soaks the paper towel, making sure that the bacterial sample is allowed that malachite green to go through. And once the paper towel has stopped leaking, we're going to go ahead and transfer that onto the hot water bath. Okay, so now I've placed the microscope slide above the hot water bath, and we're utilizing this steam here. So we're going to leave this on for about 5 minutes and allow the malachite green to penetrate. And one thing that you want to watch out for is you want to keep that paper towel hydrated well, right? Because you want that malachite green to be able to penetrate sufficiently. So every couple of minutes, just monitor, and you might need to add a little bit of malachite green. And after 5 minutes has passed with that steam, you're going to take it off and continue on with the next step. Now, once the 5 minutes has passed, we're going to remove the microscope slide from the steam, place it over the bucket, and our next step is to remove this paper towel and to rinse the malachite green with some distilled water. And once the slide has been thoroughly rinsed, the next stain we're going to use is the safranin. So we're going to apply this safranin generously over the bacteria sample, and we're going to let that sit for about 30 seconds. And then after the 30 seconds has passed, we're going to remove that safranin. Okay, now that the 30 seconds has passed, our last step is to again use some distilled water. We're going to remove that safranin and any excess stain that we find on the microscope slides. And if the slide is still wet, we can take some paper towel or some lens paper, and we're going to blot this dry. And that was the last step. So now your endospore stain is ready to look at under the microscope. Alright everyone, so those were all these steps in the endospore staining process. It's a relatively simple procedure. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you next time. Thanks guys.